Hey everybody, Frugal Farmer here. This is a memory back when I was young and in business. I just had started good. Well, this lady called me and come to find out she was my librarian in high school and a real proper, prim lady, but just so nice. Well, she wanted some stuff done on her roof. There was a couple leaks or something and some boots replaced. Nothing, not a real big job. Well, normally in later years, I got if I put a ladder up, unless somebody was out there, on it to keep an eye on it, we bring it down. Well, I put a ladder up, was talking with her, and I went inside. Well, her husband walked past me. I thought it was kind of strange. He didn't speak or nothing. He went outside, and her and I talked, and she told me, she said, "Look," she said, "you'll have to do the job when I'm not here." She said, "I'll be." She gave me the date. She said, "Can you do it then?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." And I guess I had a puzzled look on my face, and she said, "My husband's having some issues, and not that I'm making fun of these issues. I don't know if he had dementia or Alzheimer's. My family, we've had our bouts with dementia, and with three relatives, including my mother. So it's not that I'm making fun of it, but it's, you know, you kind of have to look at the points where you can kind of laugh just to relieve the stress sometimes." Well, she, we looked out and she said, "Where's my husband at?" I don't know. So I'm looking all around, and they've got a pretty steep roof going on. Well, I look up, and who's up there on that roof but her husband? He is walking all over that thing looking around. And I'm in panic mode big time. And I'm pointing up there because I can't get the words out because I just see him falling off that roof and it just, just being ugly. This man did not slip. He did not put his hands out. A lot of people, if they're not used to being up on heights, they'll put their hands out, kind of trying to steady themselves. And he didn't do none of that. He walked all over that roof. He come to that ladder and he come down like a pro. And she realized what was going on. She looked at me. Both of us looked shocked. And he wanted to know what the heck I was doing on his roof. And I was just inspecting it. And I winked at his wife, and she just grinned. And I said, "Well, ma'am," I said, "let me know if I can ever be of assistance." And he said, "Are you charging me?" I said, "No, sir." And again, I looked at her when he went and winked at her, and she'd already told me where she was going to hide the check. So sometimes you have to do things like this. But what stirred this memory, I had a new roof put on. I don't do roofs anymore. I will fix an occasional leak, or repair some boots for somebody or something like that. Or flash a chimney. Matter of fact, I've got a job coming up. I've got to flash some chimneys. Well, I had a new roof put on, and this one Hispanic guy, and there was two other individuals on the roof. I really didn't pay any attention to the individuals on the roof. I kind of told them where the septic tank was, and stuff like that. Well, I got to look, and I said to myself, "Those don't look like guys." He had two senoritas working on my roof. And just to give you a little bit of background information, when I was in construction, we had ladies in finished carpentry and carpentry. And I know a woman can do anything a man can. I'm not saying that, but I've never seen female roofers. That was a first for me. And I've got, depending on how you lay your shingles out and you space them, I've got 55 squares of shingles on my house. And that equals out to about 165 bundles. And that don't include all the tar paper, wood replacement, and you're looking at somewhere around 15,000 pounds of that. Okay, that don't include what you're tearing off. You tear it off, it don't go in the trailer. You got to pick all that up. So you're handling somewhere close to 50,000 pounds on my roof. Well, these girls worked and worked. I was impressed. When it got evening time, they started breaking down. I'd ask girls if they wanted a beer, and them girls like Corona. So I give them Corona every evening. Matter of fact, when they finished up, I gave them a case. And I cooked barbecue ribs for them one Saturday. And along with, we had tortillas, corn, baked beans, and it's just super nice. Nothing going on. Well, they brought two guys on. Well, the way you lay shingles, you either lay them in a stair-step fashion from right to left or left to right. Doesn't matter. And you can have multiple rows going on at one time. You can make good time doing that. Well, I went around, the guys are stacking it. That's going from top to bottom in rows. And what happens is when you do that, you don't get your pattern spread correctly. And it's not so much a random pattern anymore. You can tell because it'll start separating there at those seams where they gathered them. So I stopped the guy from working, and I got the boss man around there and told him, you can't do it like that. I said, because you'll see the seams. And that's the main focal point of the roof from the road. I said, no, I said, we're not going to do it like that, because I'd already talked with the guy over them and told him that no stacking is allowed. Well, he tore it off. He weren't too happy about it, but I was going to be the one to have to live with it. So now I'm painting shutters and fixing to replace a bunch of wood and siding. But I'm getting everything squared away around here, and I'm just so happy and thankful that I was able to do that. And talking about the stacking, if you look it up on the internet, you'll see it's not a recommended way of installing. A lot of people do it. I was a property manager for a company for a period of time, and we had two buildings that the guy who owned it had big money, but he loved building stuff. He loved being there on the job with building stuff. And who would be there with him most of the time but me? I was over property management and over maintenance as well. Well, he always took a month vacation every year, and there's no telling where on the globe he'd go. And sometimes I'd hear from him, sometimes I wouldn't. And so we'd told this guy how to do it, and he went over with me that the shingles weren't to be stacked. Well, I pulled up and they're stacking them just as fast as they can go. I told him, I said, you can't do that. I said, we've already had this conversation. And he said, well, they started. He said, we're going to start doing it the other way. I said, I can't sit here and babysit you. And I said, you're going to have to rip all that out. Well, he wasn't going to do it. So the guy who I worked for, well, I kind of worked for his father too, but his father had a real silent partnership going on. And so I called up his daddy, told him what the deal was. He said, I'm about 10 minutes from you. Give me a minute and I'll be there. He came there and I explained to him what was told and how it was going to go. So the guy wasn't going to listen to me, evidently. And his daddy told me, he said, go ahead and just get all your stuff together and just leave the job. And the guy was like, what's going on? He said, we told you how we wanted it. This guy's our representative. He's told you as well. He said, so you can pack your stuff and leave. Well, the guy said, well, I was going to tear him off. I said, that's not what you told me. You said you were going to start doing it the way you're supposed to, which was how you should have started the roof off. And I said, I'm going to sit here and watch you do it all day long. And his daddy, I had some things I had to do, and his daddy said, I'm going to sit here and watch him tear all these off and then start all over again. And he said, well, who's going to replace all these? Because it was 3 or 4 square. He said, well, you know what to do. He said, you're going to have to buy them. He says, coming out of your pay, not mine. So anyway, he wasn't real happy. And he did more work for him, but I don't know why he put up such a fight knowing what the, guidelines were on the job. But that's how it is sometimes in construction. Good night. I've taken up half y'all's day here on this video. Thanks for stopping by and listening to Old Man Ramble. Share, comment, like, hit that subscribe button. God bless.